I've already forked this over to my personal GitHub and I've already cloned it down. I've already done all the fun stuff. Got calculate mode. I'm going to do it in Python, and I'm not going to do any unit tests just because for the sake of time. I'm going to zoom in, but I will do some pseudocoding. So I'm just going to say pass right here. So I saw a bunch of different ways to solve it, or seeing dropping into different breakout rooms. I apologize if I didn't get into your breakout room this evening, but dropping into the other breakout rooms, definitely saw multiple ways to solve it. But this is my this is the way I solved it. So the calculate mode takes in a list of numbers, or a list, I'm sorry, just a list of elements. And we want to return a list of those elements that occur the most. So that is the mode. So I'm going to do some pseudocode, which is just in plain English. Before I even write any code, I'm going to try to solve this just in plain English. So I can say, like, declare a method called calculate under mode that takes in a single argument that is a list of elements. All right, so it takes in a list of elements, so I can just say, array or list. I'll just say array right now. All right, so excuse me. So what I need to do is keep track of how many times each element in the list, how many times it occurs in the list. And the natural data structure that comes to mind is a dictionary. Is just the key is the element in the list, and the value is the number of occurrences. So what I need to do is declare a variable named, I'm just going to say num of occurrences, and then that's an object or a dictionary. It's a dict, and with an initial value of an empty dictionary. So which is like that. All right. So let's go. So I'll write the logic of how to do that next, but I'm trying to think. All right, well, I'll need an answer variable, declare a variable named answer, and like with an initial value of an empty list, because we're going to have a list anyway. So just have it as an empty list. Next, I'm going to do this logic. So to calculate the number of occurrences. So I'm going to loop through the array, and I'll figure out what that looks like. And I'm going to say, like, if the value at each index in the array doesn't exist in the object. So there's my first if statement. If it doesn't exist, so if it doesn't exist, add the key to the number of occurrence objects and set the initial value to 1. Else, if it does occur, so if it does exist, so else if the value does exist on the as a key on the number of occurrence dictionary, then increment the value by 1. And then hopefully with that logic, I'll be able to have an actual dictionary with the key being the value in the array in the input list, and the value is the number of occurrences that element occurs in the list. Any questions on this logic? No. All right. Now we have to figure out. So that's like, all right, that's pretty, I don't want to say straightforward, but to me, that's probably the optimal way to store value, keys and values, if I want to keep track of number of occurrences of something. Now the hard part is, all right, figuring out what the maximum number, what value occurs the most, and then to be able to push that into my answer list. And also, if there's multiple occurrences or multiple elements that occur the same number of times. So the way I did this is I declare a variable called counter, or like max counter, with an initial value of 0. And this initial max counter with an initial value of 0, what I'm thinking is I'm going to iterate through through this max, or the number of occurrence dictionary. I'm going to say, hey, is the value at that key greater than this max counter? If it is, that means, hey, it occurs, the current value I'm looking at in the dictionary has occurred the most if it is greater than the max counter. If it is greater than the max counter, that means I should add it to my empty list. So I should append it there. And then I should set this max counter to the new value of that key, because that's how many times that value or that key has occurred in that list. And if it doesn't, so if it doesn't occur more than this max counter, then I don't add it to this empty list.
Quick question.
Yep.
Would you want to use greater than or equal to for that in case you have multiple values that are
Yes.
the same mode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. So yeah. So not just greater than, but greater than or equal to. And I also stand corrected. If it is greater than or equal to, I'm sorry, if it's greater than this value, this max counter, then I should replace this empty list with just that one key on that dictionary, because that key then occurs the most number of times. If it equals the max counter, then I'll append it, because then that key also occurs the same number of times as the other keys. So that's kind of my logic right there. So I can say loop through number of occurrences dictionary. And I think what I said, I already kind of forgot. If the value at the key is greater than max counter, then reassign the answer array to another to an array with just the key of just that key, because if it's greater than, then that is the new, that value, or I'm sorry, that element is the new number of max occurrences. Then I can also reassign the max counter to the value of that key, which is the number of occurrences. So if the value slash number of occurrences at that key or element, whatever you want to call it, else, if this not is greater than, not is equals the max counters, then not reassign the answer array, but append the key to the answer array. So we're adding elements to the answer array. And I think that's it. And then at the very end, just return answer array. And if I did that right, it should work, hopefully. Any questions about this logic and keeping this max counter? All right, I don't even know if max counter should be the right naming of it. It should be like max number of occurrences or current max number of occurrences. Maybe I'll do that. Current max occurrences. Any questions? So now we just have to implement it, which should be relatively straightforward. So I can say number of occurrences dict is an empty dictionary. I'm gonna just look, everything that's capitalized like so is a variable typically, or like some logic that I'm trying to do. So answer equals an empty array, which is right there. Max number of occurrences or current max occurrences equals 0. Now I get to loop through the array. So for element in array, I can say, hey, if the element is in the number of max occurrences dictionary, so that means, hey, if this element is a key in that dictionary, number of max occurrences dictionary, whatever that key is, plus equals 1. So I'm incrementing there. Whoop. Else just equal that one. So this increments it. I could also do no, yeah, this is the order you want to do it. So I think I had this logic up here reversed. Yeah. So if that's the case, I can just print number of max occurrences dictionary, and let's just make sure that all of that is correct. So let's just grab all these, bring that over here. If I ran CD into Python. So 1 occurs once, 2 occurs once, 3 occurs 2 times. So there we go. That's how many times. So 4.5 occurs once, 0 occurs twice. Let's go down to the bottom. Who occurs twice? So who occurs twice? All right. So that logic is good right there. Now I have to do this part. So I can say for key and number of occurrences dictionary. I can also use enumerate. I can use whatever I want. But I'm just going to do for key in number of occurrences dictionary. I can say, hey, if number of occurrence dictionary at the key, so that value at that key is greater than current max occurrences, I want to reassign this answer array to that key. And then I can do also, because that's the, oh, and then was it their logic? Then reassign the current max number of occurrences to the max number of occurrences equals number max occurrences at that key. If number of the max occurrences equals, that's what I want there, equals that, the max number of occurrences, then I just want to append that key. So I want to add to that. And finally, I can just return the answer. And if I did that, let's see if everything worked out correctly. Oh. Oh, crap. No. Let's print it. Uh-oh, what happened?
Gotta call the function.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Thank you. So what I can do there. Let's run that again, clear. So I've got 3, 0, 1.5, 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, and who. So that is a solution.